My name's Adam Chowning. I work at Carter Vintage Guitars, lifelong vintage guitar nerd. I deal with the vintage sales of the Martins and Gibsons and Marshalls and Fenders and just everything here. Les Paul Marshall. That's the first camp I fall in, because when I was growing up, that's the sound, whether it's from Highway to Hell, Back in Black, or any of the Free records, the vintage Kiss tones with Ace Frehley and them Screaming Marshalls. You know, that's where that's the sound I've always thought was just the holy grail for me. When you're chasing the tone of the vintage Marshall thing, whether it's the Super Lead, the JCM 800, or whatever it is. Nowadays, it seems like most people are thinking about what pedals to use through their clean amp. So you have all these pedals that emulate different stages of those amps, different eras. And hey, some of them are good at what they do, but it still does not feel like an amp. And I think when you play, one thing people don't realize is when you play the vintage Marshalls just straight into a guitar, maybe with a boost pedal, it's not as forgiving. There's something that's organic with the Marshall that you have to become one with the guitar and the amp a lot more than you would with the pedal and an amp, because you have to be on top of your game playing wise. I think one thing that I've noticed with myself is, well, yeah, it's easy. I'll just grab this so-and-so pedal and I'll plug it in. And it's really compressed and got a whole lot going on in there, and it covers up a lot of your mistakes where you don't have to be as on your game. I think when you play through a vintage amp or real amp and none of the pedal stuff, I think you appreciate the Angus's and the Joe Perry's and the Ace Frehleys a lot more, because it's like, and the Paul Kossoffs, because it's like, wow, there's a lot in their fingers. And when I take the pedal away and go straight into an amp that's got that tone, then you realize how much magic was in the fingers. But that's the magic of the amp too. First encounter with the Con, I guess being in the business and especially working somewhere where people want to bring you product to try out. After a while, you just get to where you build up a wall, and it's like, yeah, you tell me this is what this is supposed to sound like and what it's supposed to do, and I'm just always kind of leery of stuff like that. I try not to get my hopes up, especially when somebody they show me this and it's supposed to emulate the sound that I've always wanted in a smaller, manageable package, and also a package too, to where the volume was really manageable. A lot more important than the size of the rig is how loud you have to have it to achieve that tone. The first A chord I hit through it, I did scratch my ear. I was in the store in an amp room, and I kind of scratched my ear. I was like, wait a minute, and I got in, and I will say it's hard to impress me. I've been around, I've seen a lot of vintage musical instruments and amps, and this impressed me immediately. So much so that, I had to take a second listen and hit another A chord and play another tune, and before you knew it, I'd eaten up 30, 45 minutes in an amp room having fun with this thing and feeling it. There's a lot of things I'm impressed with. Number one, the size and the sound quality you're getting out. This 2-channel one, you can take the gain down to where you have the Malcolm Youngish, that sparkly little grit, all the way up to Appetite for Destruction, a modded head that a lot of people have tried to emulate. And really impressed. Matter of fact, out of everything that I've seen at the Summer NAMM so far, that has been my favorite thing that I've seen.